Hey everybody, Paul Sizer here. Welcome to number 4 in the automatic drawing series. I'm going to be setting up a few constraints for this drawing. This kind of came to me this morning. I was thinking about this as I was doing another video and talking about achieving colors through using the screen option to move colors from a tone to a lighter tone. And so the constraints that I'm going to have for this is I'm starting out with a black palette base. I'm going to be using my pencil tool, and I have the uh, control off that allows my pressure on my Wacom tablet to adjust the size, so it's going to be a consistent line width. So it's not going to be a variant line, it'll be a consistent thickness of line. And I've got it set to screen, 71%, no particular reason why. But I do have a gradient map living above my drawing layer, and that's what's going to be introducing the color. So I'll be working in grayscale, but the gradient map will be adding colors as I work live. And you can see this is a gradient map that moves from black to purple to blue to pink to orange to yellow. So as I work on my art layer here, and I'm going to be starting out with a gray, so additively each time my lines overlap they will become lighter, and that will make a lighter tone, and that lighter tone will activate a different part of the range of the gradient map above. So enough yakking, let's get talking here. Or rather, less talk, more draw. Alrighty. For some reason, I had these kind of, if you call them mushroom shapes, just sort of straight, almost kind of remind me almost like a Keith Haring drawing. So I may be channeling him a bit. But I wanted to kind of have a range of lines in here, but not clog it up too much. Still have kind of an openness to the composition. Yeah, you can see in the middle here as I'm getting closer and doing more overlaps, I'm getting closer to that lighter part of the gradient map, so the more times I go over that, it's yielding lighter areas. And I think I mentioned this before, but part of the reason that I really like still having kind of a large Wacom tablet is it's still worth it for me to kind of get the physicality of moving your arm around. I think a lot of times you tend to do kind of little like chipmunk moves with your hands, and that cramps them up. I still try and really move my arm, and really in the same way that when I learned how to ink with a brush, you move your hand, you pull things around. think that gives you more organic, more kind of vibrant moves rather than having fussy little small moves. So I kind of like the idea of still having to move my hand around, move my arm around. Bigger motions, getting bigger results. I like that combination. So get some tinier lines through there. So I think we're getting to the point here. All those really large lines, I kind of like seeing those kind of real fine lines zero through there, kind of bust the space up a little bit. Maybe one last big blast to the side here. All right, let's go ahead and call that. I think let's just want to kind of mess a little bit with the shape and form. So again, let's just kind of zero in and take a look at that. Oh yeah, there's some cool overlap shapes and forms there. Kind of nice organic textures. And again, since I'm working with a consistent color and shape, I'm not getting those gradients that I have, but I really like the kind of juxtaposed colors around next to one another here. Again, kind of like almost fractal patterns. Just for giggles, let's go ahead and scooch that up to the side so we can see it in real time. I'm going to play around a little bit with the curves on that layer that's all grayscale and see if I can bring out some areas here. So again, I've got very light areas, obviously, where it's gotten all the way to the yellow, but there's still some black here. So, and we can see by the curve here that I've still got a decent wide range of how this stuff is going. So I just wanted to see if there was something I could bring out interestingly with this. So again, I can blow the darks out of there and get this kind of op art feel. But I like seeing, like I said, I really like seeing dark, like really dark areas and having still like a nice full tonal range. Not losing the aspects that I want. So yeah, maybe just a slight variation. So again, if I'm taking a look at the preview on that, that's where it was. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I don't think the main one was all that bad. Maybe just sort of deepen those the back areas there, just so we have some of those nice, really deep dark shadow areas. But just a little more saturation there. All right. So now taking a look at this. I've mentioned this before, but since these are exercise drawings, I kind of don't care what the composition looks like. I'm reactively making these forms and marks, but to me, ultimately, the end result for this stuff is that there's little areas in here that I would find interesting. Again, kind of going in and microscopically finding sections about this that might yield color combinations or juxtapositions of tone that are interesting, seeing juxtapositions of thick, thin lines, light to dark, high density, low density, repetition, those kinds of things. So ultimately, this, like all automatic drawings, really isn't about this being a beautiful piece or being a beautiful piece of abstract art. But to me, it is something that is a raw element that I can look at and extract different things from. So I can pull color palettes, I can pull textural areas. If I wanted to, I could take this and drag it into Illustrator and let Illustrator trace and reinterpret these shapes and lines. But yeah, again, I think of these as kind of a raw resource. So ultimately, what I would do is just kind of make these things and toss them into the morgue. And then when I'm looking for or stuck on stuff, I can use them as a starting point. Again, as just a catalog to flip through, kind of look at them. Oh, wait, that achieved this kind of cool thing. Or I like the way that these colors are behaving over here. Or, hey, there's a palette juxtaposition that I hadn't planned on before. So ultimately, like any sketchbook, I tend to try and work quickly and openly, but then the real value in sketchbooks to me is kind of getting those ideas out in really raw, chunky form, and then being able to go back at them and kind of survey and pick and choose what was the cool thing that came out of that particular drawing, what was the cool thing that came out of that composition, what was the meaningful thing or thing that unclogs your brain that this drawing hit, or that the immediacy of this particular image caught that you aren't catching by trying to be too methodical or too measured in how you're achieving things. So yeah, that is, I'd say, let's call it, that is timeout on automatic drawing number 4. So thank you for joining me. Again, if you've got questions, comments, complaints, smart-ass comments, yeah, sure, whatever you want to do, give me some information in the comments below. I'm happy to accommodate them to whatever degree I'm able to in future videos. But that's all for today. So thank you for joining me. Again, be alert, be kind, be safe, draw every day, and thank you for stopping by. And I will talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.